One crisp morning, Ethan Caldwell woke to a utility bill that made his stomach churn. His electric meter was spinning like a slot machine, racking up charges that seemed impossible for his modest lifestyle. Ethan, a freelance graphic designer, lived simply in a two-bedroom house he'd inherited from his grandmother in the manicured suburb of Willow Creek. His daily power use? A laptop, a mini fridge, a microwave for late-night burritos, and a few LED lights he barely flicked on. Yet, his bill had skyrocketed from $70 3 months ago to a jaw-dropping $310 halfway through the current cycle. Something was wrong, very wrong. The truth hit him like a lightning bolt when he spotted a sleek, chrome-trimmed golf cart plugged into his garage outlet, its charging cables snaking across the concrete. Behind the wheel, sporting aviators that could double as hubcaps, was Monica Langley, the imperious president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. Ethan didn't confront her. Instead, he rigged a subtle trap in his garage, a move so clever, so discreet, that Monica would never see it coming. This was no mere prank. It was the opening gambit in a game she didn't even know she'd entered. Ethan's life in Willow Creek was quiet. The house, a cozy relic of his grandmother's era, came with a two-car garage he used as a makeshift studio, cluttered with his design gear and boxes of her old keepsakes he couldn't yet part with. The garage door opener had been busted for months, but since Ethan biked or walked everywhere, he hadn't bothered fixing it. What he couldn't ignore was the hemorrhage of cash to the power company for electricity he wasn't using. Suspecting a faulty meter or even a crypto mining hack, he installed a budget wireless security camera angled to catch the electrical panel and outlets. His plan was simple: catch the culprit, whether it was a glitch or a thief. What he uncovered was a scandal that would shake the neighborhood to its core. At 5:15 a.m., the camera's motion alert pinged Ethan's phone. He expected a stray cat or a raccoon rummaging through his trash. Instead, he watched, coffee mug trembling in his hand, as Monica Langley maneuvered her pristine golf cart into his garage with the precision of a heist artist. Dressed in designer athleisure, she plugged the cart into his outlet, checked her phone, and locked up before peeling away in a silver Bentley SUV that screamed wealth. The footage showed her there for exactly 4 minutes to siphon his electricity, day after day, in a scheme so bold it bordered on genius. Ethan scoured weeks of recordings, revealing a chilling pattern: Monica's daily 5:15 a.m. visits, her phone calls while pacing his garage, even her weekend cleanups of the cart, treating his space like her personal depot. This wasn't just theft. It was an invasion, a calculated violation of his trust. Monica's audacity ignited something in Ethan. He wasn't one for confrontation. His default was to assume good intentions and avoid drama. But watching her exploit his property, her entitlement radiating through the grainy footage, flipped a switch. He wasn't going to scream or vandalize her cart. No, Ethan was a designer who built immersive game worlds, crafting challenges that outsmarted players who thought they held the upper hand. Monica was about to become the unwitting player in his most intricate level yet. Digging deeper, he found footage of her photographing his electrical panel, jotting notes on his power usage, and tweaking his circuit breakers. This wasn't about saving a few bucks on her electric bill. Monica was studying his home like a predator mapping its prey, hinting at a motive far darker than petty theft. Ethan skipped work the next day, staking out his own street with a thermos of coffee and his laptop. At 5:10 a.m., Monica's Bentley glided into his driveway. She scanned the street like a spy before unlocking his garage with a key she shouldn't have had. Her movements were rehearsed, confident she knew his schedule, knew he'd be asleep. Ethan traced the key's origin to a repair job 2 months prior. He'd hired a local company to fix his garage door opener, and the technician, a young guy named Dylan, confessed that Monica had sweet-talked him into handing over a spare key, claiming it was for a security audit. She'd played the HOA card perfectly, manipulating Dylan with her authority. It was a masterstroke of deception, but Monica's confidence had a flaw. She'd left digital breadcrumbs. A quick dive into local HOA social media groups revealed Monica's pattern. Over 2 years, she'd targeted 3 neighbors with complaints: unauthorized electrical work, unpermitted garage use, suspicious power spikes, only to drop the issues after community cooperation. Ethan saw the truth. She wasn't enforcing rules. She was scouting marks, testing who'd fold under pressure and who'd fight back. He was still reeling when his doorbell rang. Standing there was Greg Langley, Monica's husband, looking like a man who'd aged a decade in months. "I'm Greg," he whispered, glancing over his shoulder. "We need to talk." Over coffee, Greg unraveled a story that chilled Ethan. 2 years ago, Monica was fired from a top law firm for embezzling client funds to feed a gambling addiction. The firm let her resign quietly to avoid a scandal, but the humiliation shattered her. She became obsessed with control, first dominating Greg's life, then seizing the HOA presidency to lord over the neighborhood. The garage scheme wasn't just about free power, it was Monica proving she could take what she wanted, bending others to her will. Greg was gathering evidence for a divorce, but lived under her constant surveillance. He handed Ethan a note with Monica's schedule, social media logins, and names of HOA board members questioning her finances, begging him to act before she ruined more lives. That night, Ethan crafted his counterattack, a timer-controlled relay system that cut power to any outlet drawing over 15 amps for more than 5 seconds. Legal, harmless, and invisible, it would make Monica's golf cart charging fail intermittently, driving her to frustration without a clear cause. He wired it into his panel, grinning at the thought of her confusion. At 5:15 a.m., Monica arrived, plugged in her cart, and watched the green charging light glow for 5 seconds before click total darkness. She fumbled with her phone's flashlight, replugged the cart, and tried again. 5 seconds, click. Her muttered curses echoed through the quiet morning. After 3 failed attempts, she stormed off, already dialing repair services, oblivious to Ethan watching from his bedroom window, savoring the victory. Monica didn't quit. By 8 a.m., she was back with an electrician from Harper Electric, gesturing wildly at Ethan's garage. The technician spent 2 hours testing outlets and circuits, finding nothing. Ethan's device was too well hidden. As the electrician drove off, Ethan's neighbor, Zoe Parker, a 23-year-old tech blogger, knocked on his door. "Monica's asking everyone about electrical issues," she said, showing him footage she'd accidentally captured while testing her drone. It was gold, Monica's entire routine, complete with her exasperated rants as the power cut out. Zoe proposed editing it into a viral video, and by evening, their clip-tagged cart Monica exploded online, racking up 60,000 views and a flood of HOA horror stories in the comments. The video caught the eye of Nathan Brooks, a retired detective living 3 houses down. Over coffee the next morning, Nathan revealed he'd been probing Monica's HOA dealings for months, suspecting financial fraud. His folder brimmed with evidence: fake maintenance contracts, ghost companies, and deposits timed with Monica's shopping sprees. Ethan's garage footage was the key to proving her criminal intent. But Monica wasn't done. Ethan noticed a white sedan tailing him, a clear sign she'd hired private investigators to dig into his life. The game was escalating, and Ethan's simple timer had painted a target on his back. Monica struck back with an emergency HOA meeting, summoning residents to address a security breach. Her notice dripped with menace, hinting at property damage and legal action. Ethan arrived early, laptop in hand, ready to flip her narrative. The room buzzed with nervous neighbors as Monica, in a power suit and a steely glare, accused Ethan of hacking community systems and sabotaging her cart. Her theatrics painted him as a tech-savvy villain, but Ethan stayed calm. Connecting his laptop to the projector, he unveiled the Monica Langley files, a timeline of her garage invasions, backed by damning footage. The room fell silent, then erupted as Nathan stood, badge in hand, announcing his investigation into Monica's fraud. Neighbor after neighbor misses. Ellison, an elderly widow, among them revealed Monica's unauthorized use of their properties. The final blow came when Greg stood, confessing Monica's coercion in falsifying HOA records, his voice steady despite his trembling hands. Zoe's livestream hit 12,000 viewers, turning Monica's ambush into her public unraveling. Within 24 hours, Monica retaliated with a lawsuit from a top-tier law firm, accusing Ethan of cybercrime, defamation, and more, demanding $3 million. She sued Nathan, Zoe, Greg, and even Mrs. Ellison, aiming to bankrupt them all. Fake online profiles smeared Ethan as a criminal, while private investigators harassed his contacts. But Monica's aggression backfired. Nathan revealed audio from Ethan's garage camera, capturing Monica's calls about money laundering and framing Ethan. One recording exposed her insurance policy, with Victor Hayes, an HOA president 15 miles away, running a multi-state fraud network. Ethan's timer had log data that flagged his meter for tampering, alerting the IRS and FBI to Monica's schemes. At 3:47 p.m., FBI agents raided Monica's home, her lawyer's office, and Victor's base. Ethan watched from behind bulletproof glass as Monica was cuffed, screaming about her rights. Zoe's livestream hit 2.5 million viewers, capturing Monica's failed evidence destruction and Greg's emergence as a federal witness. The FBI uncovered Monica's hidden vault, packed with hard drives that dismantled her network. Ethan's timer had accidentally sparked Operation Green Lawn, a federal probe into HOA fraud across 7 states, exposing $3 million in theft. 6 months later, Monica was sentenced to 7 years in prison, her assets sold to pay victims. Ethan received $27,000, but the real win was Willow Creek's transformation. The HOA, now led by Nathan, adopted transparent policies and open meetings. Ethan turned his garage into a community hub, with Monica's golf cart repainted in vibrant colors as its centerpiece, offering free tools and charging. Zoe's videos fueled a national push for HOA reform, while Ethan, once a recluse, became a community anchor. His new timer, set to 4 seconds, lit up with a message: respect costs nothing. As kids counted down with each charge, Ethan smiled, knowing a simple device had toppled a tyrant and built something Monica could never destroy.